Hello, I'm Andrew Samuels. I'm a Jungian analyst in practice in London, and I'm here to encourage you to attend a very important conference being organized by the International Association for Analytical Psychology, the IAAP. The conference is entitled The Self, Individuation, Communitas, Reflections on Values in Analytical Psychology, and it has become known as the Values Conference. It's in Strasbourg from June the 14th to June the 16th this year. So if you want to come, get your skates on. You will find all the information on the IAAP website. A conference on values is an invitation for deep reflection and also critique. So I don't imagine it's going to be characterized by absolute unanimity about values. I do think that there's a practical utility for clinicians in thinking about values. I mean, they're at the back of what we do, but if they're not there at all, then what are we actually doing? The patients and clients may not be directly aware of our values, but in a sense, they are. They know us and they know what we believe, what we profess. Don't forget, a profession is about professing something, holding something dear. So it's really relevant for a clinician. And it's also, I believe, relevant for people who are not signed up Jungians. So if there are Jungians listening to this who know of people outside our little bubble who might be interested in a conference on values, please pass on the information. It goes without saying, as at all IAP conferences, the speakers are just a galaxy of stars. I was going to write down all their names and read them out, but they're just too many. I think you will hear a range of views expressed with erudition, with passion, and with a high level of communication skills. And they have built in, the organizers have built in a huge amount of discussion. So each talk is 30 minutes, which is absolutely enough for a person to say what they want to say, followed by 15 minutes discussion. So people will be able to speak. I think I better tell you what I'm going to do. My talk is entitled, Is Activism a Value? Is Activism a Value? I mean, political activism, of course. What is it? Whose activism are we talking about? Most of us have activists in our practice, maybe not many, but I doubt there's a single therapist in the world who hasn't had somebody who's politically active. At the recent Journal of Analytical Psychology conference at the University of Essex, I asked the audience of well over 100 who considered themselves to be an activist, defining it any way they like. 11 people put their hands up. Now, I don't know whether that's a lot or a little. It's one of the things I want to discuss. You, as a clinician, as an activist or not? What's it all about? I think that there are difficulties with politics in large international organizations that have to do with inevitable disagreements and different perspectives. Does that undermine an activist presence in a large international organization? It might. It might not be a good idea at all to talk this way. And then we need to ask whether humanitarian and welfare work, in which many analysts and therapists worldwide, not just Jungians, engage, is that activism? I will be doing some experiential exercises to look at you as an activist or not. because I think there may be people who will say, well, I am an activist when I'm a citizen in my private life, but as an analyst, definitely not. I don't want to foist my views onto my poor clients and patients. The exercises have been done many, many times. Sometimes I call it the political self. Sometimes I call it the inner politician. It's light. It's not going to be terribly serious, exposing, and heavy. So that's what I'm going to be talking about. The other speakers have their own interests, and they will be available for you to review before you come on the website. Thank you for listening. I just want to say this. I've been involved with the IAAP since 1974, actually. I was on the committee for, I can't remember if it's 9 years or 12 years. I'm 75 years old now. We haven't done anything like this before, and we've needed it to share things, because the way the conference has been constructed, it's truly international, it's truly cross-cultural. So I think it's going to be something that actually gives weight and stature to an organization that is already very important. And that means the audience will be enthralled and thrilled and disturbed and inspired. So come.